This is a test of me using the GH6 with a very sad heart, because this camera, although it's a powerhouse of a camera, it doesn't seem to be the most reliable or efficient camera because of the streaking issue. Right now, I have no idea if the streaking is happening or not, because I'm looking at the screen right there and it seems fine. Everything just seems okay. The autofocus is working, everything is fine, but I don't know. So this is footage for me to try and see if it is working or not. Here, let me adjust this a little bit more here. Wrong side. There we go. All right, so this is at ISO 1.6. ISO 1600, sorry, f7.1 right now. Okay, f6.3. This is perfectly exposed right now, but I'm not sure. So now I'm gonna try and change now. I'm gonna go ISO, let's see. I'm going ISO 800. Let's give it a go at that. ISO 800, and now I'm going to expose. I'm gonna open up a bit more to f4.5. I'm following the 180, sorry, my English went away for a second. I'm following the 180 degrees rule, so it's automatically there. I'm not gonna change it. And let's see if there is any streaking here. I'm moving, and sure. Now let's try again, going for ISO 640, which seems to be the one that I have more problems with. I've also opened now for at f4.0, 4.0. Again, I'm moving. This is on the same take, okay? I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to be backlit, okay? Let's see now. Now, in order to see my face, I'll have to bump up the ISO, of course. Let's go to ISO 800, okay, and maybe I need to close the F, but if I close the F too much, then you can't see my face. I'm gonna open it up, because this is what video is. Sometimes you have to adapt to the situation and you have to come up with the best solution. So it doesn't make any sense that this camera at this price point with all these options is an unreliable camera when it comes to shooting video, apart from a studio setting, because this is sold as a all-terrain rugged camera. You can do everything with it. It's equipped with a fan, it's equipped with this and that, it's weather sealed, but for what if I can't really do videos? Now let's bump this again. Let's go to ISO 2500. I'm going to maybe lower the F a little bit, although you can't see my face right now. Again, I'm overexposed because of the back part here. I'm moving. Let's see what happens. Are there any streaking? I'm looking at the LCD screen. It doesn't seem to be. Let's see here. So again, I'm at 4 minutes and 14 seconds of this long ass take. Sorry again for my broken English. I can actually speak better, but for some reason. Anyways, now I'm going for ISO 6400, why not, right? I'm gonna lower this F a little bit. Okay, let's see. If I had to expose this correctly, this would be the max that I could expose it, underexpose it. It's still overexposed actually. So anyways, let's see now. Panasonic gave me this actually, to finish off with a bang. They gave me this sheet of paper here, this shit paper here, that you can see that it says a lot of crap. One of them being, it is not improved by version 2.3 of the firmware. We improved it as far as possible by version 2.2. That's not true. But we can't completely improve due to the sensor characteristics. What do you mean by that? They say here that at full HD 100 frames per second there might be streaking. So after this, now I'm at 25 frames per second, full HD. I am going to try and do 4K and I'm going to try and do 100 frames to see. They say that streaking may be reduced by avoiding light sources or by fine-tuning light sources in the angle of view in the direction of rotation. This is bullshit, guys. Come on. If you're doing outdoor shooting, you're capturing movement. I do a lot of that because I work with parkour, movement, skateboarding, people just moving dance. So how do you really gonna adjust light settings from the sun, and how are you gonna coordinate that with people expressing themselves in the moment? You should be able to capture that effortlessly. That's why I bought the damn camera. Hello again, guys. Let me see. Gotta bump up the ISO again to 1000, and I'm perfectly exposed now. I'm actually trying this now at 50 frames per second, 10-bit, FHD 422 10L, 50 frames per second. And let's see, I'm going to now change the ISO back down to, let's say, that 640. That seems to be usually the problem. Let me open up 2.5. I'm underexposed, but that's fine. Let's see if something happens. I'm moving. Can the autofocus detect me? Can the autofocus detect me? Let's change now into ISO 320, just because that's another question that I have. Guys, hey, Panasonic, Lumix, if you're telling me in this paper that I can only use the camera with dynamic range boost on and this or that setting, right, with this or that ISO, that I shouldn't use below a certain amount, then why do you have it available? Huh? In case you didn't see me. Okay, now it should be good enough. Why do you make it available? Huh? Why do you make fun of us, the consumer, the person buying, the person spending money? If you say, if you're using recording mode with 60 frames per second or lower, turning on dynamic range boost will result in a reduction. Reduction, not elimination. In particular, turning on the dynamic range boost and adjusting the ISO sensitivity to a lower value may reduce the problem. Right, but that ISO, ISO for dynamic range boost starts at 2000, which is not good. And when using ISO 640 or lower, 1600 for vlog, for which dynamic range boost cannot be set to on, or when you record at a frame rate faster than 60 frames per second, adjusting the ISO sensitivity to a lower value may reduce streaking. May reduce streaking. May reduce streaking. May reduce. I'm not happy with may reduce. I spent $3,000. I'm expecting it will reduce. Now I'm at ISO 1250 and see what happens. I'm not even gonna play around with the Fs too much because this is an ISO thing. Here I am backlit at ISO 400, and just because ISO 640 now. Anyways, this was the 50 frames per second. Now I'm gonna go into full HD 100 frames per second. All right, guys. So here I am now at full HD 100 frames per second. Right now, autofocus is not really making a good job. It's trying to look me up, but it's not doing a good of a job. So I'm gonna bump the ISO all the way to 8000, why not? Let's see what happens. Of course, this is a no-go for setting up any shot, pardon, because, you know, of the grain situation, which already in vlog is a pain in the ass to manage the grain that naturally comes from vlog. But anyways, I don't know what's going on here. I hope that this is something. It's kind of locked into my eye, but it's losing me. So I'm gonna now get back here into the frontlit situation. Oops, almost ruined my screen there. And let's see here. Okay, wow. Gotta open that F. Now I'm lowering the ISO into, oh, it's getting very, very dark. Now I'm at ISO 2000 and I'm moving around. Autofocus is not really doing not doing the best job in the world. It's kind of locked into me. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it's locked into me, but now it's not. Is it finding me? Am I focused? Am I in focus? I don't think I am. I'm stepping closer and here I am again. Okay, I'm at 2000. I'm gonna go down to within reason 1000 and I'm opening up my F, so this is as much light as I can allow to let in without moving the 180-degree rule, especially when you're working with multiple frames, variable frame rate, or doubles or triples or quadruples of frames. But I'm going to change. I'm going to go into 357-degree rule and I'm losing focus, getting back. Okay, so I'm just experimenting. 180 degrees, ISO 1000, f2.5. And now I'm going to change into 4K. All right, and we're back with the 4K 422 150 megabytes per second, 150 25 frames, 4K. So now the autofocus seems to be working better. There is a little drop here and there, but I seem to be in focus. I am at ISO 1000. Let's bring it down to 640. I'm already at f2.5 rather, sorry, because that's as low as this lens can go. This is actually very useful lens. I believe there's no point in changing more stuff again. Just going for the last here, 640. This should be bringing a lot of streaking, especially if I go like this, big contrasts. Look at that ear, look at that ear. That's what pisses me off, like making the customer feel guilty about using the camera. So you can only use this camera for this or that. That doesn't make any sense, Panasonic. I am now at 2 minutes and 50 seconds. I don't know what happened. Oh, let's do an in-between. Why not? Let's do a halfway shot. So this is a halfway shot. I'm side lit. I'm completely crooked. What's going on here? Okay, now I'm good again. Let's go bump the ISO. No, the ISO is good. Let me just open up the F here. Okay, not too shabby, not perfect either. I'm just talking nonsense. And that's it. I'm gonna put it in the computer now and see what the footage looks like, and I might do a conclusion or not. Let's see. And hello again, guys. I am back after putting the footage on my computer and analyzing it. I saw a lot of streaking, of course. Now, hold on. So this is being recorded at 4K now. ISO 2000, and I'm going to reduce that because it's ridiculous. I'm at 1000, I'm at 800 now. So what I've noticed is, especially on ISOs under 800, it just breaks my heart. Streaking appears. It appears also more when it's backlit, for sure. But like it has been said before, backlighting stuff is how you make stuff look more interesting and cinematic anyways. You can't be always like dependent on where the light source is. Or what if you do want those hard shadows? What if you do want that monochromatic, more contrasty type of... What if you do want those things? This camera, the Panasonic GH6, should be able to produce those results for you without compromising the shot. Some of the shots, as you saw, had the streaking here and there, sometimes less, sometimes more. Obviously, the more overexposed, the less you see the streaking. I'm also recording this at Vlog, so I have a Rec 709 LUT on top of this right now. Especially as I went up in the frame rate and size, so it got more messy. 4K and the 50 frames, especially the 100 frames, you guys could see that it got more messy. But that's why I bought the damn camera. It's because of the slow motion capabilities of this beast. Supposed beast, apparently not so much anymore. Overall, I'm very, very disappointed. I'm not sure what's going on right now, even so. Every time, I never know. So there's light coming from over there, there's light coming from the top, there's warm and cold lights coming from the top, so I have no idea. Again, if I create a high contrast situation, I'm not sure what could or not happen. I'm only having a look at this after. Again, guys, I did cut the takes here and there just to make your lives and my life a bit better, so it doesn't seem like a super boring video. So to summarize and conclude, the GH6 is a very powerful camera with a lot of potential, a lot of frame rates, a lot of options, a lot of things for you. But is it a camera that you should rely on? Absolutely not. The streaking problem makes it super unreliable, and I still think, contrary to Panasonic's beliefs, that this is a batch problem more than anything else, because some people that I know also have the camera, they never experienced streaking. So I do believe that there is something wrong with the batch, with some batches and the sensors, obviously. This camera was bought because of the slow motion capabilities. This camera was bought because of the unlimited recording. This camera was bought because it was so much better than the GH4. I'm shooting a documentary right now, a personal project that I will have to finish, knowing that the camera has this problem, and some of the shots, a lot of the shots in the documentary right now have this problem, and I only saw this after going home and offloading the footage onto the computer. So the LCD screen does not tell you if the shot is overexposed or underexposed enough for the streaking to appear. That shouldn't be a concern in the first place, because that's what filming is. You should be able to be creative, and even if you do make mistakes, you shouldn't have a ruined shot every time. All in all, I'm disappointed at Panasonic for producing such an amazing camera and at the same time not being honest, not being humble, and not being protective of their customers, of their clients. The GH6 is good, but it's not worth the money. With this defect, because it is a defect, it should be at least half of what it's worth, or less. So anyways, guys, do not buy the GH6. If you can go somewhere else, migrate into Sony. Sony is more expensive, but it will not give you these headaches. Learn that from me, because I just did. Thanks.